UFC Vegas 115 is over. All right, Moicano Duncan's over, and I just want to say our prayer worked. The prediction video yesterday night, I posted and we all did a nice prayer for this card to be a good card. And let me tell you, that prayer worked. It worked perfectly. This was a sick card. A lot of good fights. A couple boring ones. A couple weird fights. I'm going to go through each of them, give my thoughts and opinions, break it all down. I did pretty good on this card, 10-3. A couple upset fights. Trayshawn Gore, when we get to you, pal. When we get to you, pal. Dude. Dude. Also, haircut, dude. What we think? Still like a loaf of bread on my head. May have to go with the buzz cut, actually. I don't know. But yeah, first up, we have Kai Kamaka versus Dakota Hope. And some genius said that Kai Kamaka would win a split decision based on rounds 2 and 3. I don't know who said that. I did. Predicted this fight to a T. Predicted it to a T. Dakota Hope starts off strong, rushing in, hooks. Bam, left hook, right hook, left hook, right hook. And I was scared, He head clashed Kai Kamaka a lot in this fight. I want to say like once each round he head clashed Kamaka because he was all forward pressure. Dakota Hope, respect to him. He was a heavy pressure. He has heart. And it was a fun fight. Great fight to watch. Started off with the prelims with a bang. Round 1, like I said, he's running in, he's doing his Russian hooks. Some of them are catching Kai Kamaka because he kind of is like lackadaisical in the first couple seconds of the round. He's not really ready for what I like to call is the retard rush. That's kind of a patent that I'm working on. I personally use it myself when sparring. The retard rush kind of has its privileges, which is you just kind of back up that person, and if you hit, you hit. And, maybe someone on the counter will do something to you, but Kai Kamaka didn't really do too much on the counter for the first fight, or for the first round. So round 1, he gets outstruck 31-66, 42-21, and he gets knocked down. Man, they scored that a knockdown. That knockdown was purely because Kai Kamaka, also, I'm not centered. Sorry about that. That probably bugged a whole bunch of people. That's centered. There we go. That bugged me. He got knocked down by a head clash, but I guess they still counted it. So Dakota Hope wins round 1. I'm thinking, uh-oh. He looks powerful. He looks switched on early, and Kai Kamaka's kind of slow. And then round 2 happens. In round 2, Kai Kamaka starts working better on the counter, starts going second and fourth, letting Dakota Hope kind of run into him, and then he'll knee to the body, hook around the guard, kind of exit out. He was low kicking a ton in this fight. Dakota Hope's normally a southpaw, but he was orthodox a lot in this fight. I guess because Kai Kamaka chewed up that lead leg early. So Dakota Hope was orthodox for, I want to say, most of this fight, even though he's normally a southpaw. And then, round 2, he's doing his thing where he's rushing in. I don't remember him going for a takedown. Maybe Kai Kamaka did go for a little takedown. A lot of this fight was in the clinch, though. Throughout every single round, a lot of it was in the clinch. And Dakota Hope was slamming some nasty knees to the body, especially in round 1. Nasty knees to the body over and over again, but Kai Kamaka just took him like a champ, He's a crafty vet now. He knows how to get around. So round 2, he starts landing the better shots. Dakota Hope's his retard rushes are a lot more on the guard in this round 2. He's not getting it caught as clean, so a lot of it's on the guard, on the gloves. Nothing really too clean. So Kai Kamaka starts kind of leading away. And in round 3, Kamaka just kind of starts piecing him up a lot quicker. Kind of starts finding stuff to the body, a lot more knees to the body, shots to the body. He was stinging him with his right hand a lot in the third. So I did score this for Kai Kamaka, the second and third round, like I said in my prediction. Genius. But yeah, he outworked him in the third. Dakota Hope was kind of gassed from how heavy he went in round 1 and 2. And he just didn't get too much out of going heavy. I think he could do decent. He just needs to not go full. He went full steam ahead, and let's settle. Let's kind of pick him apart round 1, and if he goes full steam ahead in round 2, he kind of gets what he wants in round 1, maybe hits them to the body a lot with that clinch, works him in the clinch a lot, and then he starts doing his rushes. I think that'd be pretty deadly. But Kai Kamika gets this done. Split decision. Called it to a T, you know. I don't want to brag. I don't want to brag. I'm just doing a little bit, okay? Because this was, I called the split decision, exactly how it went. This is gonna be, well, I'm gonna brag at the main event too, but you know. Moving up, Dion Barbosa, Melissa Gatto. Now, Dion Barbosa won, majority decision. She did get a point taken away because she illegally kicked Melissa Grotto in like the, I want to say she kicked her on the collarbone, but it could have been like the bottom of the chin, the neck. Basically, Melissa Grotto was doing an Oliveira, laying on her back, feet up, arms up, kind of laying there. She tries to get up. Dion Barbosa soccer kicks her, and what I think is personally like this lower kind of chest, collarbone area, but it looks, you know, it could have been like the chin, bottom neck, and as soon as she does that, Melissa Gatto out like a light. Out like a light. Am I winking? She wasn't. She faked that to try and get a point taken away, and she did. But Dion Barbosa just, you know, outstrike her, outworks her, does a lot more damage from the top. So she you know, she didn't get the takedown round one, but she would reverse. Not in this round, I guess. But she just worked a lot more. They gave her every single round. One judge gave Gatto round one, and then Barbosa round 2 and 3, which made it 28-28 or whatever. No, they gave her 29-27. So one judge gave Gatto round 1 and I think round 2. Yeah, that's the only round you can give Gatto. And then round 2 happens, and again, just Barbosa is a lot more busy on the what's it called? On top position. Once she gets her takedowns, she's a lot more busy. You know, only 9 strikes, but you know, 34 51. She's working a lot more in the clinch on the floor. You know, punches to the body, little slaps. Doing a lot more work than Melissa Gatto. And, you know, she did 100% of her takedowns. She stuffs 4 takedowns from Gatto in round 2. And then round 3 was just kind of a destruction. She takes her down, beats her up, tries to sub her at the very end. They both reverse each other. You know, Melissa Gatto, technically a split decision. Technically a split decision, as in, you know, the judges didn't fully agree. No, it wasn't a split decision, but I was close. I was very close. Majority. So a weird decision. But moving up. Asamat Bukoyev, Tresean Gore. So round 1, Asamat Bukoyev just came out of like hibernation or something. He looks really slow. You know, he's up on sight on strikes and significant strikes, but round 1, Tresean Gore, I mean, just demolishes Bukoyev's lead leg. Low kick central, hits him with it a lot, hurts him with some body kicks. Bukoyev has his own leg kicks and body kicks, but Tresean Gore's have more of an impact than Bukoyev's did. And round 2, you can tell it starts working. So Tresean Gore wins round 1 pretty unanimously. It's close. He landed the better shots. Round 2, Bukoyev knocks down Tresean Gore, and 2 judges gave Tresean Gore round 2. I mean, Bukoyev definitely won. He outstruck him. He took him down twice, beat him up significant strikes, knocked him down, and they still gave Tresean Gore round 2. Is all I gotta say. All I gotta say. A little bit weird. A little bit of a weird thing. But you know. It's the UFC. What are you gonna do? And then round 3. Tresean Gore just kind of outworking him. Bukoyev's kind of gassed. He goes in for some takedowns, and Tresean Gore gets him with the Goratine, is what I like to call it. His signature guillotine. Which is nasty, you know. He's got a really tight squeeze. He locks it quick. Tresean Gore goes for a lazy takedown. Gets guillotined out cold. Tresean Gore gets the win. Dude, Tresean Gore gets the win. I don't know how. He was actually throwing punches back. So how good is Rodolfo Vieira? And then how good by proxy is Bo Nickel? You know what I'm saying? Crazy upset for Tresean Gore. He was like a plus 600 favorite or whatever. Or underdog, sorry. He was like a plus 600, 800 underdog. and he won. So good on him, you know. I was rooting for him in the Marco Tulio fight because I was like, he's tough, dude. He's a tough guy. And he does fire back a little bit, but I thought after that Marco Tulio fight, it kind of changed how he fought against Rodolfo Vieira. But now he said he's done with weed, he's sober, and now he's 5 months sober, he's back. So maybe he'll start looking good. Maybe he's rebuilt himself into a contender. He is 7-4 though. Bokoyev, that's it's kind of a step back, and like, man, Bokoyev kind of sucks. I don't know. He's 20-5, so I don't know who are the 20 people that he was able to beat. I know Ryan Loder was one of them, so the legendary Ryan Loder has fallen to Azamat Bokoyev, but I don't know, dude. I don't know. He needs to readjust or something. I don't know. Moving up. Alice Pereira, Haley Cohen. I thought this would be a split decision. No, I thought this would just be a decision. But Alice Pereira gets it done. Knockout. Round 2 knockout. Nasty step in knee. She does like a weird, like, you think it's going to be like a switch step in knee, but it was just a lead step in knee. Very weird, like, kind of like stutter step. And she's so tall and lanky that she just, like, doesn't even have to, like, jump. She just brings that knee up. And Haley Cohen's chin, which is like Raul Rosas Jr., where it's like way down here, gets hit. Shut off. Lights are shut off. She's done. Nasty. Nasty work by Alice Pereira. Round 2 KO. I did not see that coming. I thought she'd get a decision, but I'm now what, 3-1? Yeah, I'm 3-1 right now. And then when we move up to Lando Venata, Darius Flower. And then again, trash versus garbage. I know how to pick trash versus garbage. I thought this would be a split decision, but Darius Flowers, round 1. Lando Venata's kind of outstriking him. I think he knocks him down in round 1. Does he? No, he doesn't. He just outstrikes him, takes him down, is a lot better in the grappling. But he's doing like this weird, like, he has the body lock. Darius Flowers is standing up while Lando Venata has that body lock on him, and then he slams him down. And, the Isaiah Smith, I want to say, against that Asian guy, where he, like, posted his forearm on the guy's chin when he slammed him, and he, like, knocked him out. The same thing happened here, except Darius Flowers was bracing his forearm on Venata's, like, rib, his right side rib. Can you see where my cursor is? How do I check that? If you can see my cursor, like, right on that right side, our left side, his right side rib, basically pops it out at the end of round 1, and he is hurting. Like, the last, I'd say, minute of round 1, he's doing the Peter Griffin. Dude, Lando Venata was hitting the Peter Griffin, hurt my knee. He was doing that in the corner, on the floor. And Darius Flowers thinks, all right, I'm just going to poke at that. In round 2. Round 2 comes out. Venata goes for a takedown. Darius Flowers does grab his shorts to stop the takedown. No point taken away. But it didn't matter because he reversed that, threw Lando Venata on the floor, and just by that point, his ribs just, like, broken or popped out of place, and he's like, I'm done. I'm done. And he calls it quit. Not quits, That must have hurt. A lot of pain. But yeah, Darius Flower gets it done round 2 KO. I did not think he'd do that. He called us retarded in the post-fight speech. I appreciate that, Darius Flowers, keeping it real. He said he fought at elevation 3 times, and he fought on short notice, and not everyone can do that. And now, he showed it. Trash versus garbage. Garbage came out on top. So yeah, great win for Darius Flowers. Round 2 KO, I thought he'd get a decision. Moving up. Alessandro Costa versus Stuart Nicole. Now, somehow, first off, I thought he'd get that round 1 submission. I really did think he would. But he didn't. Round 1, he's looking really good, though. Keeping a high, tight guard. Staying with him. Stuart Nichols kind of cheesing. Doing a bobblehead cheese. Kind of prancing about. Throwing spinning back fist every now and then. Wham! Just to show it. Just wham! Spinning back fist. like toppling over himself while throwing that spinning back fist. And Alessandro Costa stays calm, composed, low kicks, some nasty body kicks. And round one, you can tell he hurt Stuart Nicole bad to the body because he's kind of staying out here and getting his hips away. And it's 20-27. I can see on like the numbers, Stuart Nicole Stuart Nicole won round one. But if you look at it, dude, Costa won round one all day, every day. He landed the better shots. He hit a little bit harder. And the judges scored it for Stuart Nicole, round one. But it doesn't matter because round two, Alessandro Costa comes in, mixes it up, shoots some takedowns, outstrikes him on the feet, and then at the very end of round one, with 4 seconds left, he blitzes in, bam, uppercut to the liver. Bam, quick, tight uppercut to the liver. While Stuart Nichols kind of shying away, he falls down, gives up, because it's a liver shot, dude. He's shut down. That was the off button. You got 2 off buttons. You got one here, and kind of 3. You got like one here. Sorry. One here. One here. Actually, one here. And then one over here on this side. Your liver. No, it's your right side. I'm southpaw, so yeah, it's your right side. Shuts him off. Shuts him off badly. Badly. He's shutting off. He's shelling up. He goes for some ground and pound that ref steps in, calls it quits. Nasty TKO at the very end of round 2 for Alessandro Costa. Great win. He looked really good. He's only lost to Steve Erceg, Amir Albazi, and Alden Correa, which, by the way, how good is Alden Correa? That's all I gotta say. Me and him are boys. Me and Joshua Van are boys. Me and Dakota Hope, we can be boys now. We can be, with that performance, me and him are boys now. So yeah, great win for Alessandro Costa. Moving up, Guilherme Pat versus Thomas Peterson. He got blobbed out. Round 1, you could arguably give to Guilherme Pat. You could, just because of, look at these strikes. It was 28. This is clinch striking, significant strikes. 8-4 significant strikes. Guilherme Pat was low kicking pretty good, hitting some good counters in round 1. But I can see why he gave Thomas Peterson, who was up against the cage, had more control time, was working a little bit better, doing a little bit more work in the clinch in round 1. So round 1 happens, he's holding him up against the cage, nothing too much. Round 2 is a little bit closer, 7-8, 12-27, more stuff where Guilherme Pat hits like a low kick, hits like a head kick kind of, that's like on the guard partially. And then Peterson's kind of just smothering him against the cage. That's round 2. Now round 3, same thing happens except like, I'd want to say 2 minutes in round 3, Thomas Peterson goes to grab the cage, he turns around, and while he's turning around, Thomas Peterson, right hook, a very tight right hook, sends Guilherme Pat flying, sends him flying like a blade, like a tailspun helicopter, dude, down to the floor, and he's kind of just stuck there on bottom, on half guard, and Thomas Peterson just kind of like flubs a finish, a knockout TKO finishing sequence in the third, and just lays on him for like 3 more minutes, which is why it's like 5-109 total strikes, 2-16 significant strikes with the 1 knockdown. So yeah, I got it wrong. Thomas Peterson, he did the reverse. I thought he'd look really good in round 1 and 2 and then get knocked out in the third. He actually reversed it. He looked average in round 1 and 2 and then almost knocked Guilherme Pat out in the third. So impressive from Thomas Peterson. He's decent. He is decent. He was a little bit leaner this fight. He was 10 pounds lighter this fight. So he's a little bit more in shape for this fight. And was able to kind of use that to his advantage. Was a little bit more lithe. Very good at, jittering in and out, left and right. Low kick when you won't expect it. So it was a good win. Good win from Thomas Peterson. That's my second fight wrong. Yeah. Moving up, though. Jose Delano, Robert Uchala. I thought he had it. I thought, Wallace from Wallace and Gromit had it. He just didn't. Round 1. they're kind of trading tit for tat. It's pretty close. You could give Ruchala round one, but Delano was just hitting the better strikes. To be fair, though, either Ruchala has a crazy chin or Delano just kind of doesn't put too much power into anything. Which may be why he didn't get the finish on the Contender Series, because he beat a guy up on the Contender Series. Didn't finish him. They still signed him. He may just have just no power. It's kind of becoming a pattern for him in these last couple fights where he just has no power. Unless you're like, but even then, Robert Ruchala was very defensively irresponsible. Delano was catching him, and he still wasn't putting him away. So maybe he just has no power. Robert Ruchala, I thought the wild man could get it done. I was going for a crafty underdog pick. It did not work out. Jose Delano's very good. He's only lost to like Gabriel Santos or whatever his name is, who's in the UFC right now. But very, very good. Round one, it's kind of a back and forth, tit for tat. Delano's landing a little bit better. Ruchala has some swelling and his face is reddening up. Round two, Delano starts taking away. A lot better combinations. Ruchala tries to go for some takedowns. They both go for some takedowns. They don't get it. Delano's doing better with setting up combinations and actually getting off combinations, and Ruchala's kind of just doing like a 1-2 rear body kick into a spinning back kick that would sometimes land, And then round three, he starts kind of teeing off. He starts doing really good, and then halfway in the round, he grabs the cage pretty bad. He just grabs the cage just to grab a hold of something. He was scared. He needed a stress ball, and he just grabbed the cage by accident. And they took a point away from him and reset position, and he was having some crazy momentum where it looked like, is Robert Ruchala kind of building up into a finishing sequence? I don't know. He was head kicking, body kicking, spinning back fist to the chest, and Delano was kind of like, this guy's pressure is crazy. You hit Ruchala with like a check right hook, he'll wobble about, he'll jelly leg over there, and then he'll be right back on you. He like resets. Like, you got to put him down in one blow or he'll just reset back to full health and come back at you again. He's like the Halo shield, where it's like, that was actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good, dude. That was a pretty good sound effect. But if you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. He's like the Halo shield, where you got to kind of blast him all in one. If you don't, and you just go, he's gonna recharge quick and go, bing, 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 and then right back at you. So crazy good one for Jose Delano. Not the best power, but he's looked good on the combinations. He looks slick, very defensively sound. Ruchala was hitting him with some things, but nothing really too big where, it got Jose Delano in trouble. Jose Delano, there was like a good cross in round three where he was kind of wobbled a bit. But again, Ruchala kind of threw it away with that cage grab. God, he almost had it, dude. Ruchala, I love you, dude, but let's not. And he just throws a spinning back kick off of everything, dude. Ruchala, if you go against a grappler, dude, they're going to have, a field day with you. You give your back every couple seconds. They're going to take you down, submit you, pal, quick. Don't let Moicano see you do that, dude. Anyways, moving up. Tommy McMillen, Milano Zucchini. Now, in my prediction video, I said round 3 KO. But on Tapology, I kept it as round 1 KO. So, basically the same thing. But McMillen, Thomas McMillen, Thomerson McMillen. Crazy round 1 to a fight ever. Craziest round 1 to the fight ever. First of all, as soon as McMillen hits Milano Zucchini, like he hits him with the right hook, he goes, like the Looney Tunes where like you hit with the hammer, and you get like that huge welt on the head. That happened to Zucchini, except it was like on the side of his eyebrow. So it like went like that instantly. But McMillen, he kind of just jumps in there and brawls. He brawls. He got fight of the night. So 100K for him. 100K for Zucchini. And I think that was McMillen's whole purpose. He wanted money. Call him Tommy Money McMillen. He wanted some money. By the way, Moicano did not get performance of the night. Moicano did not get performance of the night. I'm just now realizing. Let's see who got performance of the night. And Graham. Let's real quick see who got performance of the night. Oh my goodness, I can't. Sorry. Gotta pull it up on my phone. That's not Instagram. There we go. UFC. So, fight of the night, McMillen Zucchini. Performance of the night was Alessandro Costa and Alice Pereira. Um, I know Alice Pereira did a thing, and Alessandro Costa did a thing, but anyways, Tommy McMillan, Milano Zucchini again. McMillan kind of goes in there, and if he was wearing shoes, he would swing himself out of his shoes. That's just how it was. He's like on his tippy toes swinging, and he's sending himself flying forward. But it was a fun fight, dude. He's swinging hooks. He's doing 1-2s. He like ducks down into his 1-2, and it like the two's always hitting Zucchini on the side of the head. Like the one's like pulls down the guard kind of. The two hits him on the side of the head. Zucchini's bobbling about. He's a gay Italian. He doesn't know what he's doing. And McMillan's, doing his knees. He's doing his no really kicks. I don't think were thrown. I can't remember. It was such a brawl, dude. This was a barroom brawl. This was a bar brawl. Like I was surprised they didn't start pulling out pool cues to hit each other with and bar stools to throw at each other. Because it was a barroom brawl, dude. That was a fisticuffs. McMillan won it, dude. Knees to the body, knees to the head, hooks, 1-2s, just too much volume for Zucchini. Zucchini was cracking him back a little bit, 20 significant strikes to 74. Every single strike that McMillan threw was basically a significant strike. Knocked him down with a knee to the body. Zucchini folds up at the end of round one, and McMillan just pours it on, dude. Very fun fight. Did he look like a minus whatever he was? Not really. But he looked good. I do think hopefully he doesn't fight like that every single fight, or else he's not going to make it far. I'm just going to be honest. It was a fun fight, great fight. But if Zucchini fights, or if McMillan fights like that again, be careful. Just be careful. That's all I got to say. But I hope he makes it far. He did pretty good on the mic. He said he's healthy. He wants to fight 3 times this year. It's already April. Get him on the International Fight Week card. What are we doing? Chop chop. International Fight Week, and then maybe a card in December or something, or like a August, September, October card. But yeah, great work from Tommy McMillan. First round KO, like I kind of predicted. I said round 3, but on Tapology I said round 1. So pick and choose, dude. Pick and choose. Moving up. Ethan Ewing, Rafael Estevam. I said it in the prediction video. Ethan Ewing is on a JDM run. He's on a JDM 1. He lost his first 2 professional fights. He is now 11-0. No, he's 10-2. He's 10-2. 10-fight win streak. And he looked beautiful. Like I said in the fight, he just has that JDM-esque, very slick combinations, moving in and out. He's always on the move. He doesn't move just laterally, he moves everywhere. He moves vertical, laterally, he moves left, right, up and down, sideways. He moves in a fourth dimension sometimes. He like phases out of shots, and he's very good at like seeing shots coming. Slick head movement. He's got that big head. Even with that big head, for him to absorb all these big shots that he takes normally, he's got great head movement too. Very good at like slipping out of low kicks, and then just his own low kicks into his 1-2s, into his hooks, and he's just so good at comboing up, and his body work is in slick body work. I fell in love, dude. I fell in love. It was like watching someone paint the Mona Lisa in real time. No performance bonus for Ethan Ewing. He should have. He got a finishing bonus, which is, how much is the finishing bonus? Let me search that up. How much? I think it's 50K is the finishing bonus in the UFC. Oh, $25,000. Okay. Oh, so fight of the night and performance of the night are 100K each. Oh my goodness. So that was a lot of money for Alessandro Costa and Alice Perez. So he got $25,000. You know, he doubled his paycheck. He should have gotten performance of the night though over Alice Pereira. If I'm being honest, this was a tough matchup for Rafael or for Ethan Ewing, undefeated guy. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't no what was her name? I already forgot her name. It wasn't no Haley Cohen. You know, kind of a layup for Alice Perez, but you know, Alice Pereira. So I feel for Ethan Ewing. He should get a performance bonus. They also robbed him of a fight of the night bonus on that Wellmaker fight. You know, he's missing out on 2 bonuses that he should have gotten. But it doesn't matter because he's sick. He said he doesn't care about the fame or the money. He wants to fight. He wants to be the best fighter in the division. And everyone that's ranked 1 through 15 better be on lookout, dude, because Ethan Ewing is coming for you. And I love it. I love it. Probably the best bantamweight prospect out there right now. He's just so good. You know, Elijah Smith's also there. I think he's bantamweight. Elijah Smith's very tall. You know, not the best striker though. I feel like he hasn't really proven himself in the striking department. But you know, great fight from Ethan Ewing. He looked amazing. I love him. Moving up, feature fight: Abdul Rahman Yakayev versus Brinson Ribeiro. Now, Abdul Rahman Yakayev did not look like a minus 1600 fighter. If I'm just being honest, he came out there. And maybe he just saw Tommy McMillen throw hands and he wanted to try that out. But you can't be doing that, little bro. You're a light heavyweight. He's swinging himself. He's running forward, and Brinson Ribeiro hits him with like a chick left hook. Kind of pops his head back, and he's starting to feel it. And he's in trouble early from like a shot from Brinson Ribeiro, and he's got to shoot a lazy takedown that Ribeiro stuffs. And he starts trying to corner Ribeiro, and then Ribeiro head kicks him. And because this guy's got a granite chin, he grabs the head kick Joshua Van Pantoja style and pushes him over. But instead of, you know, Ribeiro's arm breaking, he just falls into like side control. And then Abdul Rahman Yakayev just kind of works a submission in round 1. I was between submission and KO. But he did not look the best. Did not look the best. You know, Paulo Costa puts this guy out cold, is all I gotta say. All I gotta say. You know, just not the best looking guy. Not the best looking, kind of sloppy for a light heavyweight. You know, running over himself, getting hit, countered by Brinson Ribeiro. Realistically, he should not have laid a finger on you. If you're like a serious heavyweight prospect that I need to watch out for, light heavyweight prospect that I need to watch out for, Brinson Ribeiro should not touch you. But he did. He caught you, and it almost put you away. So, not a good night for Abdul Rahman Yakayev. You know, he didn't get a performance bonus either. Got that 25K for finishing, though, so. By the way, great fight night. Back-to-back great fight nights. I'm worried for 327. But, you know. Moving up, co-main event, Virna Jandiroba, Tabitha Ricci. I mean, if you want a guaranteed way to ruin a card, you give a WMMA fight the co-main event. Unless it's Alexa Grasso, Macy Barber. But besides that, you give a women's fight a co-main event, and they're gonna stink it up pretty easily. Virna Jandiroba just takes down Tabitha Ricci for 3 rounds in a row. Tabitha Ricci's out there doing something, wearing shorts. That's kind of like the most she ever did. This whole entire fight was just wear shorts, and then kind of end up in like compromising positions where it's like the camera guy wouldn't even have like a good angle. Come on, dude. Well, what's wrong, cameraman? Virna Jandiroba had a triangle on Tabitha Ricci's back, and she was standing up. And to get off, you got to shake to get it off, and the cameraman was doing us no favors. Do we have beef, cameraman? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, pal? But yeah, Virna Jandiroba, decisions are, like I said, boring. It's a women's co-main event with Virna Jandiroba. You know, she's there. She called out Mackenzie Dern for the trilogy. You know, I know we're all chomping at the bit for the trilogy, but let's have Zhang Wei Li come back, and then maybe you can get like the Zhang Wei Li fight that you've been looking for. Like maybe you gotta fight one more. You know, you did just lose a shot at the title. I think you need one more. Give her like Gillian Robertson or like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Gillian Robertson. Werner Jandaroba, Gillian Robertson. That could maybe be a fun fight. Maybe that'll be a fun fight. Anyways, moving up to the main event. Hinata Moicano, Chris Duncan. I mean, as soon as this made it out of round one, I was terrified. But Moicano in round one picked apart Chris Duncan. Chris Duncan starts off the round, couple good low kicks. I'd say 2 or 3 good low kicks, and then Moicano starts checking them suckers. He goes, checks a couple low kicks, and Duncan kind of gets, he must have gotten hurt or something, because he just stops throwing them. Stops throwing the low kicks, the rear low kicks, and just is kind of shying away, you know. Moicano gets some of his own low kicks, and he's out jabbing Duncan. Out jabbing, out 1-2ing. Duncan lands like one jab and one right hand in round one, I think. That is not the numbers. Though that is, Moicano significantly outstruck Duncan on the feet. What? I don't know. Yeah, those are wrong. Anyways, Moicano just kind of outstruck him round one. You know, missed a couple takedowns. 2 takedowns were stuffed. Duncan did one run of his own. Moicano did a good job of getting the underhooks, circling back out. And you could tell Moicano was looking turned on early. He was on there quick. And like I said, Chris Duncan is a slow starter. He's a slow starter. And with Moicano, you don't want to be starting slow. Because if you start slow, he's going to get a dangerous position over you. And that's what happened, you know. I didn't think it'd be as late as it did. I thought he'd be a little bit quicker with it. But, you know, Duncan had some decent takedown defense. But round 2, 1 sub attempt is all Moicano needed, dude. That's all I needed. Moicano, they started trading a little bit more in the pocket, you know. Duncan's like bloodied up on the nose, you know. Moicano's popped it with the jab. His lead legs kind of hurt. Moicano's checked a couple kicks and had some low kicks of his own. And Duncan just kind of closes in. He clips Moicano. Moicano clips him back, like on the first exchange. And then the second exchange, they come in. Moicano 1-2 left hook, sends Duncan down. Duncan jumps in, kind of goes in on a double leg. Moicano sprawls it out. He ends up on top, gets the back. And once Moicano has your back, and if you're not like super good at, you know, getting out of dangerous positions, if Moicano has your back, you're in for a ride. And Moicano took Duncan for a ride, beat him up. His eye was right eye, I want to say. His right eye was swollen up bad. And Moicano, the genius that he is, goes, that eye looks pretty bad, dude. Pop, pop, pop. Just hammering on that eye. Having Duncan angry, annoyed. Duncan gives up his back, tries to roll over. He's on his back. And his corner says, Duncan's corner, they're in Duncan's corner, is where Moicano kind of dropped him and took him down and has his back. His corner goes, surprise elbow, surprise elbow. And Duncan goes, okay. Elbow, gives up an arm, so Moicano latches up the rear naked choke and gets it done. Round 2 submission. And Moicano was the underdog. He was the underdog, dude. He was the underdog. Don't ever disrespect Money Moicano like that again. Don't ever do that. Because he will, he's going to make you regret it. So yeah. Great fight. Moicano looked amazing. Looked really good. Turned on quick. Moicano, Paddy Pimblett, dude. Moicano, Paddy Pimblett. Moicano, Dan Hooker. Moicano, the Beneil Dariush rematch. We just need to see that. You know, we need to settle that loss for Moicano. I think you could redo the Moicano Brian Ortega. That's a good co-main feature fight of a pay-per-view. You know, something like that. You know, Moicano's still in there. He looked good, dude. He looked good. And I know people are going to all of a sudden say Chris Duncan sucks now. They were picking Chris Duncan to beat Moicano, but now that Moicano beat him, Chris Duncan sucks. That's how the world works. But no, Chris Duncan's really good. He's really tough, but you can't tough your way out of a submission. I said that in the prediction video. You can be as tough as you want. But when you go to war so many times and you get damaged so easily now, Moicano's going to take advantage of that because he's got nasty elbows, he's got nasty ground and pound, and he's got nasty submissions. You know, he's lost to Islam, he's lost to Jose Aldo, he's lost to Fluke Brian Ortega, but that was Prime Ortega even. Lost to Fiziev, short stoppage. Lost to RDA. A couple other guys. He's lost to top caliber top caliber people. He's 20-7-1. You know, he's a very good fighter. I think he beats Pimlet. He definitely beats Hooker with the way Hooker fought BSD. He's like shooting in his own takedowns. I think BSD. I think Moicano takes care of Hooker and Pimlet. If I'm just being an honest man. Pimlet, maybe not. Maybe Pimlet has the better jiu-jitsu. But on the feet, I don't know. Moicano's kind of slick on the feet. You know, he's got really good boxing, dude. You saw that. Out jabbing, out 1-2ing. Chris Duncan dropped him, and he's got like a stone head. You know, even McKinney couldn't really drop Duncan. Like, he had Duncan wobbled and hurt, but he didn't drop him like Moicano did. Did they count that as a knockdown? They didn't. Oh, my goodness. Wow. They just hate Moicano, dude. They were doing everything. Didn't give him a knockdown, saying he lost significant. Oh, my goodness, dude. These numbers are all off. But anyways, great fight night. And you know what? UFC Seattle, Pyfer Adesanya, amazing. Now Moicano Duncan, amazing fight night. I'm worried for UFC 327. I think it's going to suck. But that's like an amazing card off of just like the looks of it. Via the look test, that's an amazing card. The UFC is back, dude. Sick couple fight nights. I'm so happy. You know, I did decent, like I said, 10-3. Chose Moicano, chose Darius Flowers, chose Rocha Ruchala. Maybe not the best pick. Chose Guilherme Pat, probably not the best pick. But the Esmat Bokoya fight, no one saw that coming. If you chose Treshon Gore, you're lucky. That's all I gotta say, you're lucky. But yeah, great fight night, very fun fight night. And next, UFC 327 Prohaska Olberg. Joshua Van is off of this card. This fight is canceled. They rebooked it for UFC 328. So Tatsuro Taira, Joshua Van will have to be on the Chimaev Strickland card, which is just going to make that card better. But you know, it's kind of sad they removed it from this card because now looking at it, this card is a little bit weak because the co-main is Mirzakhanov, Paulo Costa with a feature fight of Blade Tockett. You know, Dominic Reyes, Johnny Walker's pretty good. Pitbull, Aaron Pico will be funny. Cub Swanson, Nate Landwehr's a banger. Gamrot, Ribovich, you know, that's Kevin Holland, Randy Brown could be fun, interesting. Suarez, Lupe Godina, Kevin Gastelum, Vicente Luque to open up, dude. Like, there's a name. Like, even Lupe Godinez, Tatiana Suarez, they have a decent name. There's no names on this card. It's all, like, well-known people. The whole entire card. You know, they lost a fight. Maybe they'll try and get one back on to try and make it, you know, the same thing, but then it won't be all known names. But, you know. Hope y'all enjoyed. Don't be funny. Make some money. Buy the numbers, dude. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought of this card. And tell me what you think of Joshua Van pulling out of his fight against Tatsuro Taira and having to reschedule it a month in advance. I like that. I like that for Van because, you know, he may have to recover and he may be injured, but I think a little sneaky, maybe he just wants a month of training. Just an extra month of training. You know, you never know. He said he's been so injured he hasn't been able to properly train for the fight, so maybe, because I'm wearing blue, that's why. Yeah. I like sit down here. Anyways. Don't be funny, make some money. Buy the numbers. Peace out.